Hello, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about SCCM 1902 update. It is a big update from the previous hot fixes that we've been doing. So there's a lot of new features that have been introduced into 1902. And so I wanted to highlight some of those here in this video. One is the client health dashboard, new management insight rules, and distribution point maintenance mode. And then you can actually import specific index from the WIM file. During the operating system import, there'll be a piece where you can say, hey, pull from a specific index. You can replace the toast notification with a dialog window. And also during the OSD progress status, you can actually see the progress status during the in-place upgrade task sequences. And then you can configure the default view and config manager. And there's a few other features that other folks have talked about, and there's a lot of things that this upgrade also is either replacing or improving upon. I didn't want to touch on those. I'll provide a link in the comment section below so you can take a look at the articles. So with that, I'm going to show you how to do the upgrade, and then I'm going to show you some of these new features so you can see what those are about. So with that, let's get started. Hello, so now I've got the SCCM Config Manager console open, and you want to go to Administration, Updates, and Servicing, and you'll see right here 1902 ready to install. You'll see that it's ready to install, so now I just want to go ahead and it's already downloaded, so it's just now going to install. Now, like I always do, I always like to do a prerequisite check. Alright, so with that being said, so when you want to upgrade to the 1902, you need to make sure you're at least version 1710 at the earliest, and 1802, 1806, and 1810. So right now I've got the 1810 hotfix, so I'm going right, I've been kind of upgrading throughout. So just make sure that before you upgrade, you check your prerequisites, and that you have at least the earliest version is 1710 installed before you can upgrade to 1902. Now, with that being said, when you go to the config manager help about, now this upgrade is going to require an upgrade of your client. So right now this is the current version, and you can see it's 1810, and eventually it's going to say 1902. I just wanted to show you that. And again, I'll put the link to this in this description so you can see what versions are currently supported. And it looks like, now in order to support the newer version of Windows 10, which is 1903, you have to be at the Config Manager 1902. So if you want to support the latest Windows 10 operating system, you will need to upgrade to the 1902 version. The Windows 10 version would be 1903. And you'll probably need to upgrade your ADK to support that, and you can go ahead and download that from the Microsoft Center. But I'm going to show you how to do all that. But I'm just wanting to give you a few prerequisites to think about and consider when doing these upgrades. And as you can see, I have the service. If you have not installed the service connection point, I suggest doing that. If you're coming from an earlier version, so I have that already. It's been configured. If you go to properties, you'll see it's online, persistent, whatever, and then you can have these two options, but mine's going to be online, persistent type thing. So just make sure you add that if you don't have that added. And then, now again, so with that, let's get started. So we're going to go to administration, and then we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to do the Prereqs check like I always do, just to make sure. So now it's checking prerequisites. I'm going to let that go. This is going to take a few minutes, and then I'll be right back. And the things when you do the prerequisite check, there's a log file on the root of your root installation, wherever you installed your config manager. There's this config manager prerequisite log. You can open up that log, and you just kind of watch and see what it's doing to kind of make sure everything is going well, there's no issues and stuff like that, and you'll see what it's just check, and then it starts to go through its process. You can look at this log file to see what's going on and what have you. And so now it's checking, it may be done already because that. Okay, once you get through the prerequisite warning, I'm going to go ahead and install the update. Again, if you do run into any issues, I'll provide a link where all of the different warnings and errors that you may receive. It'll give you examples of how to fix those. So I'll leave that link in the comment section below. And if you want to install any extra components, you can do that here at this time. I like to do them after. So I just go ahead and click on next and go ahead and update without validating. And then I go ahead and accept the terms. There we go. Next. Okay. So then this will start, obviously, the prerequisite check again, and it'll go through this. And if there are any warnings, because I already knew about the warning, and so I fixed that. So I told it this time to ignore it. So then it can just go ahead and do the upgrade. It's not going to break anything. So again, it's going to go through its prerequisites and go through the process, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. And as you can see, going into the monitoring section, updates and servicing status, and now it's installing. Let's go back over here, and there you go. It's installing. Once it's completed, it'll be installed, so we'll show you what that looks like when it's done. All right, as you can see, it took about an hour, but the 1902 is now installed. And as you can see, when you go to Help About Config Manager, okay, now we got to upgrade our console, so that's what we're going to do now. So it's going to go ahead and download the console and upgrade the console. And this part usually takes a few minutes. And there it goes. It's going to installing console. There it goes. And it should automatically launch the console when it's done. And there it goes. It's launching the console. Now you're going to have to upgrade your SCCM agents. Now, depending on your environment, you may have those settings set to 2 weeks or a week. Mine is set to 2 days. If you go to the hierarchy, oops, settings, and you go to client upgrade, and this is the new client, 8790.1007. Mine set for 2 days. Again, it's a small lab, and most organizations will have either 7 or 14 days here. Some will exclude the servers, so the servers will get done manually. My environment's a lab environment, so I don't really care. So basically, one of the things you'll see here is called Community. You'll click on this, and it'll have documentation, config manager documentation, recommendation, things that are trending. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's listed here inside installing the console, updates and servicing, what's new, the checklist and all this stuff. So it has a link to all of their documentations and troubleshooting articles and what have you. So this is a new thing that was just added in 1902. So I wanted to point that out. We didn't see this tab here before. It was only just these 4, so just wanted to point that out. That's new. So there, like I said, I mentioned some other things new. I'll probably do a complete separate video on going over all of those new features within 1902 now that we have it installed. So again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to provide all of the links to all the documentation below, and I'll also have it on my website. So again, go check out my website at mynexttech.com. And again, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.